And we're live. Hello, Internet. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Just Some Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Mosh. And today is Saturday. I made a mistake on the last episode. I said it was Thursday, but it was actually Wednesday. So, learning, keeping that in mind. So, my old ass gets the days mixed up sometimes. But happy Saturday, January the 11th, which is nuts, 2025. Thought I'd jump on here real quick, share some thoughts I had, and wow, what a start to the year, huh? If you kept up on social media and the news lately, yeah, I'll take the craziest start imaginable following the most impactful election / cultural shift for 500, Bob. So yeah, these California fires, man, they are ravaging the whole place. Praying for people in California again. The people are the ones who are suffering, okay, the most. Yes, I don't want to get into too much like whose fault it is and conspiracy theories and whatnot. I'll share what I'm reading. I'll share some stuff I learn and post. But it's a dire situation, man. Like, it's literally burning. If anyone has seen any movies like Day After Tomorrow, you know, when the all the weather events that's happening at the same time just wipes out like the whole country, you know. So it looks like that, but it's really happening, you know. Just a few days, just last week, everything was normal in California, okay? Just a week ago. Life is normal, you know. The weather was nice. They always had nice blue skies and shit. On a personal note, I always thought that Californians were spoiled, you know, just because I call it they won the geographical lottery, okay? So it's hard to, like, take life too seriously, or it's hard to understand real hard life situations when it's always sunny and 75, you know, because that's typically how it is in Southern California. It's phenomenal. But I mean, you're now, okay, granted, okay, you could be homeless, yes, living out there and still enjoying the weather, right? You could be loaded, you could be a superstar and enjoying the weather. So yeah, that, of course, that comes into play. But yeah, man, Californians understand now for sure that how fast quickly can turn and how hard life can be. And by the way, there are people who are suffering around the world in other countries for years just like this, if not more. Okay, so it's all everything's fine when life is good, right? When life is good, no problems, everything's fine, right? And it's easy to overlook things when life is going well, but as soon as shit hits the fan, as soon as life gets really difficult, then we find out how fast things can change in an instant. Literally, like Thanos snapping his fingers, right? So yeah, one thing I wanted to share, this dude, Usman, I know, he shared in a group chat, probably from ChatGPT or something. It's like, imagine this. You're living in a $20 million mansion overlooking the Pacific Ocean, beautiful Malibu, sun is shining, you have millions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, everything's taken care of financially, family's good, the best of schools, the best of wealth, you know, expensive cars, mansions, the whole lot, right? You are the top 0.1% and life is as good as can be, essentially. Then, out of nowhere, out of the pure blue, chaos. Everything's burning to a ground. Everything you've worked up to, all the things you've worked for your whole life, it's just chaos. It is burning to the ground, and yeah, and you're trying to just escape with your life and your dignity and whatever you can manage, right, to save, materialistically speaking. But yeah, just about everything you know is going to get consumed. And that's just how fast things can change. Okay? And this leads me to a deeper point, right? If you live in comfort 24/7, 365, God bless you, you're really going to suffer. You're suffering the most because life is going to hit you at some point. Case in point, California fires. I'm not wishing bad upon people. I'm not wishing for disasters. Don't get me twisted. But if you are living in comfort so much that like you never have traffic stops, never late for work, you've never had job situation, never had health situation, you never had family drama, never had depression or depressing feelings, or you never lost friends or family or pets, which I'll get into. You're gonna feel like you're in hell as soon as a small thing happens. And this is a huge thing, by the way. So it's really literally like they're feeling like they're in hell. So there's really no easy life. I'll be honest. There's no such thing as an easy life where absolutely nothing ever goes wrong. That does not exist, from my understanding. Think of it this way, not to get too conceptual or biblical on you guys, but the very birth of every life comes at the expense of the mother's pain. Okay, especially a human mother, especially a person. They all have to endure the pain just to bring the life into the world. Okay, and that's just physical. Okay, forget about all the emotional and the financial and medical pain and what have you. But just for all of us to be born, our mothers had to endure a significant pain, which if you're a male, which I am, will never fully understand, and that's okay. That's fine. Yes, I won't fully understand that. I never will have to, thank God. Not going to complain. But yeah, it's just there is no easy life. Just beginning your life, there is pain involved. Okay, it's not completely painless. Yes, do they have the latest medicines and the latest technology to reduce the pain as much as possible, epidural and all these things? Yeah, but modern medicine doesn't remove thousands of years of human evolution, and human development. And every mother have had to have super pain just for us to be born. And that's just the beginning of life, okay? But I'm saying, like, I don't think it's possible to, like, never make a bad grade in school one time. Like, that's not going to happen. Or never miss a day of work, or never have a traffic problem or a car issue or a family drama, right? So when life is comfortable, okay, little things become an issue. Oh no, this guy cut me off in traffic. Oh no, I chipped a nail. Oh, you poor thing, you chipped a nail. Your clothes is not matching, for the day or something. The ambiance of the location. Like, these are such small things. They're so insignificant, it's not even funny. Now, there are billions of dollars of damage and total meltdown of homes in California right now. Okay? So what do you think about that? That's a life-changing, forever shifting event, okay, for vast majority of people right now in Southern California. Praying for you all. Yeah, man, it's looking rough out there. I'm seeing a lot of reports. For example, our everyone's favorite governor, Gavin Newsom, apparently, based on certain reports, he cut the fire budget by $100 million just months before this fire. Ooh. So that's rough, and a huge systemic failure from top to bottom. I pray that they get his ass out, right? Like, It doesn't matter if you're directly responsible or not. Okay, if you're the captain of the ship, even if something small goes down that was completely unexpected, is not you're even related to what you did, you're still responsible because you're captain of the ship. So in the old ways, you would go down with the ship. Okay, hashtag Titanic. But we live in this new era, right? Where it's never anybody's fault, right? It's always their fault. It's always their fault. No, man, back in the day, people took accountability for their actions. And even if it's not directly related to them, if they're a captain of a ship or a captain of a troops or whatever it is, they're responsible. Okay. So anyway, a lot of crazy reports out there. Thousands of LA homeowners dropped by their insurance companies before the fire. So insurance companies had some idea this might happen. That's not good. And that's getting into a whole nother realm of conspiracy theories and, what's really going down with these fires. I mean, there's reports about arson, right? And what if actual people, real Californian people, are actually either partially causing or maybe entirely causing a lot of the fires? Okay, that's awful, and that's just horrible to think that people would even do that. But we do live in planet Earth. Okay, so yeah, people will do that. But I'm not here to speak on like what exactly is the cause or whatever. It's happened. It's at this point, it's already burned down. Okay, so finding out the cause after the house burned down is almost a moot point. Now it's time to rebuild. Okay, it's time to rebuild. I mean, there's been many fires. Like one I can recall, historically speaking, I think London burned down to the ground in the 14th century, something like that. I don't know. I'll look it up. But anyway, many major historical events around major cities burning down has happened before, and they've rebuilt, right? London is thriving more than ever. They've rebuilt, okay? Over 50K, 60K people signing a petition for the mayor, LA Mayor Karen Bass, to resign, obviously, without any doubt. I believe the LA Fire Department chief is, I think she actually, no pun intended, got fired, which she should. And I don't want to get too much into this, but hey man, this woke bullshit is not going to fly anymore. Okay? DEI, woke bullshit, it doesn't matter. Okay? You are to blame when shit hits the fan and you could not prevent further property destruction or further loss of life. Okay? You are to blame. And it's not fair. I'm not saying it's fair, but who gives a shit what gender you are or what your bedroom relationship looks like if your city's burning down to the ground? The hell? Who cares? All that matters is handling the event as it happens. Okay, emergency or massive evacuations, what have you. Okay, so yeah, this DEI stuff is coming to an end. Look, I live in Dallas, Texas. We're not putting up with this DEI bullshit. Okay, we're not in Texas. Thank God. The older I get, the more I appreciate this beautiful state. Thank God. God bless Texas, man. We are there for each other. When Winter Storm 2021 happened and the power grid shut off, people actually were there for their neighbors, okay, and family, right? My family was there for me. They have a gas power fireplace, and I didn't, so they able to, thank God, take my dog and stay with my parents until power came back. And not just that, but many businesses they allowed people to seek shelter during that time in Texas. Houston, I know one furniture guy did that before, I think on multiple occasions, and just a story that on top of my head I can recall, right? So Texans are actually there for each other, okay? And now is there still shitty leadership? Is there still cagey leadership and stupid politics? Yes, there is. But it won't come I don't think that will come in place of like solving the problem. Okay, so when the power goes out, all hands on deck, solve the power issue right now, whatever it takes, solve, okay, and handle the next thing. Okay, it's not about, yes, there is blame to be passed, but the first and foremost thing is to solve the problem. But anyway, yeah, man, so prayers out to the people who are going to suffer the most. To California right now, it's still raging, and I knew people in California, I knew friends before in California. A lot of them I've lost touch with, but I pray for their safety, you know. And okay, so what else? But yeah, man, it just goes back to the comfortable thing. Okay, like I said, I consider now before this fire shit. Okay, when everything was hunky dory and life was nice, and it's just California as normal with all their DEI and woke BS aside. Life is very comfortable as long as you can afford it. Obviously, income, finance plays a huge role because it's like the most expensive place to live. But I mean, blue skies every day usually. You know, barely any major weather events. They almost never get snow. It basically never snows in Southern California, right? And yeah, there's some earthquakes here and there, but they haven't had experienced a major earthquake in a long time. And every time I visited, I've been there at least 3 times, and twice in 2020 when I was dating a chick in LA, which was a fun time. But yeah, I'm just like, if this is every day, it's just sunny every day and 75, 80 and barely gets too hot or barely gets too cold. Yeah, I think the minor insignificance becomes a huge one too. Like, they don't even know what hard time is, man. For Texans and for people in the South and for especially in the Northeast, God bless you, but major ice and snowstorms. Okay, so half the country is like frozen and California is burning, which is insane. And it's gonna sound insensitive, but it's kind of like this beautiful balance. Okay, it's literally fire and ice. In nerdy way to put it, perfectly balanced, as all things should be by Thanos. But that being said, don't take me wrong, I'm not promoting any major disaster, natural disaster or not, on to any U.S. city or state. Okay, it's just what's happening right now. But it is kind of crazy to think that like half the country is frozen and California is on fire. But God bless. Praying for them. And what was I saying? Yeah, but if you've never been through frozen snowstorms, and here in Texas, that it was fun for a couple of days, but then it becomes a problem. Okay, like I gotta walk my dog, and like I have to get ready for a long time just to walk him and bundle him up, and we have to clean the home more because of the dirt from the outside. So whatever, I'm not complaining. It's just that is a reality when snow hits here in Texas. Now that's a regular day in winter if you're in New York or Chicago, and definitely in Toronto. Okay, so if you're in the Northeast and the North, you experience pretty brutal winters, but that toughens you up. Okay, that should toughen you up, and winter should not be as big of a deal. Is it still a big deal? Yeah, but like California is never experiencing that, you know, and now they're experiencing a really tragic, different event, but. Yeah, so Northeasterners, they're going to handle blizzards and shit for the rest of time because it's just the climate there, okay? So, yeah, nothing happens in the comfort zone, right? You have to get out of your comfort zone and be uncomfortable if you really want to grow as a human being. There's just no other way. If you're always comfortable, you cannot grow, and if you don't grow at all or very little, then these tough times are actually going to feel like hell. They're going to be hell for you, okay? If you've been through hell, okay? If you've been through hard times like myself and most people who are winners, in fact, I'd say those who work the hardest in their specific fields in categories and they strive to be the best and the ultimate winners, they endure the most tough times and the most difficult times. Okay. Michael Jordan, he lost his father in the middle of championship runs, in the middle of the first three-peat they had in the Bulls. And he was killed. And that was extremely rough for him, right? In making a sports analogy, Kobe Bryant, his father was not present for one of his early championships or one of his early finals wins with the Lakers. Okay, there's a picture of him by himself with the trophy, and and every major athlete and winner and champion will tell you about all the sacrifices that had to be made, personal, and family, team, etc. So tough times do not last, but tough people do. Okay, and I'll get to another point here, but so switching gears a little bit to religious discussion. I'm grateful to say I'm Muslim. Alhamdulillah for everything, which means gratitude by way of the Lord. Okay, I'm grateful for what I have and all the good things in my life because of what God has blessed me with. That's what Alhamdulillah really means, and I think gratitude is the key for being able to handle the ups and downs of life. Okay. If you have gratitude, if you don't have gratitude, you're definitely going to feel worse more often. I really believe that. You're going to feel more negative. You're going to feel more pissed off. You're going to feel more depressed and definitely more mentally ill more than if you have gratitude. Okay. So I'm very blessed and grateful for my religion, for my relationship with God, and that is a unique thing for everyone. And I'm not here to preach or anything. Now, here's a cool excerpt from the Quran that is definitely gonna come into place with the California fires. And shout out to my California Muslims right now. God does not burden any soul more than it can bear. Okay, so if you believe in God, which I do, and Muslims as a whole do, then no matter how hard your life is getting, God knows exactly how much that each human soul and believer can actually take right before they just can't take anymore and they hit the wall and they just stop or they just jump off a cliff. Okay, God knows, right? And I can tell you from experience. Okay, I have been through hard stuff. All right, I'm not gonna get too personal, but there was just a 6-month period, multiple car accidents. My apartment got broken into. I lost my job, lost friends. I had to move a few times. That's in a 6-month period in 2017. That happened to me. Okay, and one of those accidents was really scary. Okay, and a single car accident. Obviously, by the grace of God, I'm very blessed. I'm alive and well now, right? But it was very scary, man. Single car accident by myself in the middle of the night. So, God protected me. I'm very grateful for that. Will always forever be grateful for that. But God protected me, and that's just the example that God does not burden a soul more than it can bear. I got through that period. I didn't call it quits. I just kept believing and focus on positive. Yeah, you're gonna be depressed or you're gonna feel negative for a few days or weeks. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel a little depressed. It's not okay to stay depressed. Okay? It's not acceptable to stay down forever and be in the dumps because your life continues. Okay? If you have a job, you have to do your job. Okay? If you have a home, you have to take care of your home and definitely pay for your home. If you have family, you still have to take care of your family. You see what I'm saying? You have pets, they rely on you. You know, if you're in school, you have to finish your degree. If you're breathing, if you're alive, okay, if you're alive and breathing and you have family and you have blessings at all, trust me, you're a winner and you can make it through anything, technically. I'd say if you believe in God, that's really going to help you. But even if you don't believe in a higher power, right? Positivity is still huge for that person. Okay? Because being negative all the time is just not going to solve your problems. Okay? You have problems to solve regardless of whether you believe in a higher power or not. And the only question is, are you going to be able to solve them even when hard times happen and difficult times happen? Right? Positivity, gratitude, belief, all these things are going to help a person get through those things. And that's exactly what Californians need right now, okay? It's not really the best time to just blame fingers and whatever. Yeah, I know social media is going crazy about that. And I pray those in power are held accountable. Yes. Gavin Newsom, your ass better be held accountable. The mayor of LA, your ass better be held accountable. And I wish they could just kick you out, but apparently they can't. So you have to resign on your own will, unless you like actually commit a crime or some shit. California government, I hope they do an entire restructure. I hope they, I don't want to say that, but something to the ground. You know what I'm saying? They could use an entire revamp, right? But maybe it's such a ridiculous, corrupted political thing there that it's like a tip of the iceberg situation, right? And I don't even want to touch that at the moment. So, anyway, one of the things I'll end today's with, right? So, yeah, okay. Going back to there's no such thing as an easy life. Okay, let's just think about animals, right? Even cats, even non-domesticated cats or street cats or whatever, dogs, they still have to fight to each other for scraps, for food, for shelter. Okay, in the big cities, it's not as common in the U.S., but it's way more common in other countries. Okay, in Europe, in Asia, South Asia for sure. And I'm Bangladeshi born, so I can tell you that they're all over there. But yeah, man. Even if you're an animal living on the street, even if you're a bird, it doesn't matter. You have to still fight and for everything you eat, everywhere you live, just to survive. Okay, so that's not necessarily an easy life, I'd say. Okay, domestic life. If you're a domesticated cat and you have an owner and you're all healthy, yes, technically that's easy, right? But it's not gonna last forever, So, what else we're gonna say? So, yeah, like I said, if your life is comfortable all the time, then the smallest insignificance will feel like hell, and now they're actually experiencing hell. So it's like a greater hell for them, right? But you're talking to someone who's lost family members at a young age, who's lost friends, literally and figuratively. God bless. Heartbroken many times, extremely. Multiple accidents, multiple job losses, health, family, everything. I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to even record this episode for anyone who's listening. I'm grateful to even do this in my time, right? On top of work, on top of taking care of my health, on top of taking care of family and my home and my dog, okay? Just to be able to do that is a blessing. And so, yeah, we don't actually realize what we have until it's gone, okay? I think that speaks for itself. And lastly, I was at Friday prayer yesterday. It's called Jummah prayer for non-Muslims, and the imam, the religious leader, was, a very standard sermon / khutbah he was giving, and he really spoke on the fact that we are going to die. He spoke on death and how a believer can prepare for said end of life, and what we believe in terms of afterlife and those things. And guess what? You know who all was in attendance? Children, toddlers, teenagers, young adults, regular adults like my age in your 30s, older adults, senior citizens. Everyone of all ages is in attendance. and yet the message is the same. What does that mean? That means when you're trying to share a message based in truth, which obviously that's true, your feelings do not come into consideration. Okay? I mean, there are kids there. I personally wouldn't want to spread the message, hey kid, guess what? One day you're not going to wake up anymore. I don't think we want to traumatize children like that, right? But that's not the point, because it's still a fact. And as a believer, it's a very fundamental part of your belief is that your whole life is temporary, right? Therefore, how you conduct your life and how you conduct your belief system towards that inevitable conclusion, inevitable fact. And it's true regardless of how sad it makes you feel, how depressed it makes you feel, whatever. All ages, young, old, middle, whatever. Your feelings did not come into consideration. And he spread that message. He shared that no matter what. And he is speaking from the Quran. He's giving Islamic, Quranic examples, and as they usually do. And and all these kids are there, right? It doesn't matter. It's still a message based in truth. We live in a world where, for one, smart people are being silenced, so not so smart people can feel good. And then number two, people who are speaking uncomfortable truth, which, let's face it, that's like the most uncomfortable truth ever, right? But people who speak or share uncomfortable truth are being criticized so that people can believe comfortable lies. Okay? It's not fair. Wish it wasn't true, but it is. And I'm here to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Like I'm swearing in a court right now. But I strive to speak the truth, okay? And I'm going to try to have nuance, okay? I'm going to try to use tact. I'm going to try to consider the audience and try to share it in a way that's more digestible. That being said, the facts have to come before our feelings, okay? You can feel however you want to feel. It doesn't change the fact, okay? It does not change the fact, and therefore prioritization should come in what is actual truth, what is undeniable truth, and based on evidence and information, and what is just my personal views and feelings towards said thing. Okay? Everyone has personal views and feelings subjectively. That's perfectly normal, and it should be. But that just doesn't take over objective reality and objective facts and truth about life. California is burning down to the ground. It doesn't matter if you lived in a $100 million mansion or a $1,000 a month apartment. It's burned. If you live in the areas, prayers for everyone in California. And there's a reason behind these fires. There's a reason that they can't fight it as well as they possibly could. There's a reason, insurance companies have pulled out before, just months before. There's a reason budget cuts were made before. I don't know what that reason is or those reasons are. I'm just saying there's a reason for these things. And there's a reason it's happening now at the beginning of 2025, right before a presidential transition at the tail end of the most controversial, if not most impactful election maybe ever, but definitely in the 2000s, okay? And a huge cultural shift on social media, online, and everything. So there's a reason for all that. I'm not going to get too much conspiracy talk right now, or I don't know if I will, but just saying, it's still the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay? It's going to hurt. The truth is going to hurt, but it's going to set you free, hopefully. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Yeah, one couple of banger of lines, couple of bangers here. The world doesn't owe you understanding. The truth will last, but lies will fall apart. Okay, I love that one. And well, the night from my favorite, one of my best movies ever, The Goat, The Dark Knight. The night is darkest before the dawn, but the dawn is coming. California. Okay, and America and everyone. The dawn is coming. So yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna bid you guys adieu for this Saturday, January 11th. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you like and enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe for more. But as anyways, just remember this all just a little perspective. Peace. Take care, everyone.